And we are back for some more of this draft, my first draft of War of the Spark, and we're just going to dive straight into match 2 here. We won match 1 quite tidily. Let's see if we can keep that going. Again, I think the deck's middling. I think there's a lot of times where this deck can be outclassed, but we'll see how it goes, see if we can rustle up a few more wins. Playing against Flame 1979. I wonder what the story is behind that. Anyway, with that aside, this hand is pretty nice. I like that. We can definitely keep this. We've got a creature into Dovin, got some removal. You can't really ask for much more from a hand on the draw. I think we'll definitely keep that. And our opponent's saying hello. I am not going to let that go unanswered. Right, so we'll just play our land and pass the turn back. Our opponent's playing blue. What's their second colour, though? Blue-black, I think, is the colour I least want to play against. Oh! So we've got a bit of a mirror match here. Could be interesting. I've not played against blue-white. I've only played one match with it, so let's see if they've built their deck differently to ours, and if so, how. Okay. Now they could be running anything, really. We don't know if blue is a splash or if white is a splash. There's the Pegasus that I somehow managed to go the whole draft without picking up, but that's fine. I think here we can run out the Dovin, but I am definitely going to attack first. So we can Dovin, tick down, just start making their spells more expensive and cause them a bit of grief. So we'll go to attacks here. They certainly won't block this. And then we just get Dovin out. Post-combat we get Dovin out. Dovin comes out, and Dovin's got a lot of activations, so we can really just make the most of him here. Their Pegasus, no longer a threat, completely shut down. And if they play something bigger next turn, we can do the same to that and get in with the Pouncing Lynx. Or we can use Divine Arrow. You know, I think next turn we definitely want to drop this down. It's just a really strong card, deals with that Pegasus completely. And lets Dovin focus on other things. Opponent plays a 2-5 here. That's not the end of the world. It's a bit annoying, but I think we can handle that. Right. Now, if I attack here, and they block with the Crovod, we can kill it, then play a Law Rune Enforcer, which is not terrible for tempo. And then next time we play Ashiok Skulker, I think that's probably quite a good way to use our mana. So I am going to use this on either the Pegasus or the Crovod. They're probably not going to block with the Pegasus, so let's just take that out of commission. Go to attacks, and just swing in. If they block here, we can take out their blocker. They opt not to, that's fine. So post-combat, we'll run out Law Rune Enforcer, and we can leave back Divine Arrow. Dovin is a bit exposed here. Dovin might take a hit. We might just let Dovin take this hit. See what they do, really. I don't particularly want to trade 2 cards for this, so I'll let Dovin take 2. If they want to use a card to pump it, there we go. We'll just let that happen. Because we can deal with this with the Law Rune Enforcer from now on. So Dovin's probably going to die here. I'm expecting that. I'll attack him with the Pegasus just to wind me up. Yeah, so they're just doing it for the trigger there. That's interesting, actually. Yes, that's quite a smart move. Right, we can't play Sorin just yet. We can play Ashiok Skulker. Does mean we won't be able to block that next turn. But we could... I think we just keep building the board here. I think, in general, if in doubt, just keep playing creatures. Get him for a bit more damage. And just pop down this Ashiok Skulker. And see if we can just do what we did in game 1 and just eke those last bits of damage out. We now have the means to lock down their biggest creature. Pouncing Lynx is quite useless at this point. It's kind of run its course. It's done what it was ever going to do. Only having first strike on your turn is quite the downgrade. It does make it significantly worse than if it just had first strike the whole time. It's a much worse blocker. And it's also vulnerable to... There's lots of little 1 damage effects in this set, so it doesn't hold up very well against some of the stuff you're likely to come up against. Oh, what does Teo do? You have hexproof, and it starts creating walls. Ashiok Skulker doesn't care about that. In fact, we could use Ashiok Skulker to kill Teo, which, that's interesting actually. Is that worth doing? Or do we just go for the head? Right, our opponent chooses not to attack at all. I think, considering that Sorin can potentially get some points of damage in as well, I think I want to, this turn, just activate Ashiok Skulker and leave up Divine Arrow. Contentious Plan doesn't get us any value here, so I think let's do that. And get in there, attacking their face. And pass it back. So again, we only really need to get 3 more attacks in, and then Sorin, if we draw a Black Source, can finish the job. As it stands, we have the means to just tap down their 4/7, which I think we're going to do here. Rather than kill the Pegasus. We might need this for something more problematic. We might need this to get rid of a blocker at some point. And taking 2 damage is absolutely fine here. Opponent's got plenty of mana, 4 cards in hand. It could be that they are just going to overwhelm us as far as cards on the board go. That's something I'd like to kill. I think we probably send in some attacks this turn, just to make sure that we have ways to deal with that. So here, I think we've got mana again to activate Ashiok Skulker and just keep up with that plan. This proliferating is going to start becoming a problem, because they will just be able to keep building these, and if they have any removal for this, then that is going to cause us a bit of trouble, but I don't really think we've got a better play here than just doing the same again. Oh, hang on. I'd like to activate this, but hopefully we'll have a chance here. Oh, it's just passed to blockers. Okay. Our opponent might think we misclicked here. Oh, that's nice. That's interesting. That saved us some damage. Some mana even. Because now we have... We can probably... I think I want a Contentious Plan. I think I need more here. I need... I just need more stuff going on, and this Strix is actually exactly what I need. So that's nice. We've still got mana up to tap their 4/7 and play a Divine Arrow, so... Yeah, we've got stuff going on here. Just drawing that card there was actually quite handy. I think it would have been... Right, we do want to spend our mana here just to tap down their 4/7, I think. If they want to attack with this, it gives us a chance to Divine Arrow it, which would be excellent. We could actually kill both of their flyers here if they attack with any more than just that Trusted Pegasus. Yeah, here we go. So that's going to resolve. They could have some counter magic here, but I think it's worth it just to potentially get rid of this threat, just to try and do this now and see what happens. That worked. Do we want to block the Trusted Pegasus? I think not. I think I just want to get more damage in next turn with the Strix. Another 2/5. So our opponent's playing really quite a defensive deck here. We should bear that in mind when we're sideboarding. We've got a free attack in the air here. And yeah, we can just deal 4 damage and have mana up to keep doing what we're doing. So let's do that. Just get in with these two. We've got them dead next turn if they don't do anything, if they don't change this board state. And Sorin is still a way for us to get those last few points in if we need to, because that +2, he takes a fair bit to take down, and he is just dealing a point of life each turn. It's probably... Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't actually have a target here. Right, okay. Let's remember that's a thing, because we've completely shut that down. Right, I've just given them an attack, which was a bit silly of me. I just clicked through it. I wasn't thinking. So that's all going to resolve. So they're dealing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do we want to make any trades here? I don't think I do. That was quite a bad play by me. I think I just have to take the damage here. This could give them the win if they've got something amazing to follow this up with. Which they do not, so I'm going to remember to tap one of their walls. Oh, no, I can't tap one of their walls. That's fair. That's not going to work. Right, So now there are ways that they could have us here, so I've got to be careful. I think if we swing with the Sphinx, we're potentially opening ourselves up to a nasty backlash, so I am just going to go with these two cards and leave the Sphinx back as a... Okay, no, we had it. I was just slightly concerned there because that was a potentially problematic move there. Right, so Battlefield Promotion could be good here. I'm warming to Battlefield Promotion. They had some cards that are worth countering. They didn't have anything that I hugely cared about, though, that we saw. This could be a game where we want to bring in Dovin's Veto, considering what we saw. Saw some Planeswalkers that this would certainly deal with, so let's bring that in, rather than bringing in another No Escape. What's not looking so good here? We've got... I don't think we want to lose Lazotep Plating here. I think we could probably go down something, though. Terra's Light Shield... I do want to try this card out, though, because I feel like maybe it's just an amazing Proliferate generator. Pouncing Lynx wasn't actually that good there. Yeah, let's lose a Pouncing Lynx. And I think that's probably all the changes I want to make. We don't have that clear of an idea of what they're doing, so I do want to get a nice, clear picture of what's going on before I change too much here. This hand is sweet. I like this hand. We've got a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and all of our colours. Hopefully I'll not misplay this card this time, but no promises. Our opponent mulligans to 4. That's painful. That's really got to hurt. That, wow. Okay, so let's just... if they're down to 4, our odds have just got even better, considering we've got quite a good curve here. We've got a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. We're just going to be playing a spell every turn. And they're, you know, playing non-creature spells as well. Let's get an attack in with this. This... I don't want to say we can't lose, because that will mean that we'll lose, but we are in a very good spot if our opponent's so low on cards right from the get-go. There's every chance that they will have a way to draw more cards that could get them back into this, so we will bear that in mind. Right, now I think here I do just want to play Dovin. Divine Arrow to kill this is tempting, but I think we want to just keep building our board out. So let's just do that. Get Dovin. And these orders are all fine. I'm really warming to this Strix. I'm quite a fan of it. I think a blue-red spells deck would be pretty amazing with that Strix in it. And here's the cool thing about Dovin, is this creature's not a threat. It can't do any damage to Dovin, so when they've only got one creature out, Dovin protects itself in quite a unique way for Planeswalkers. Normally, the way that Planeswalkers protect themselves would be with a token, or by, you know, removal, by killing something or moving something. Okay, that's interesting. So this Sage could end up getting quite big. So Dovin's certainly going to keep hitting it, though. I think this turn, considering that we can tap this inevitably, or endlessly rather, I think I just want to keep building my board. We'll use Dovin again, just to weaken that. And this turn we're going to play a Flux Channeler, just to maximise the value that we're getting from it. Do I want to kill Jiang? I might want to kill Jiang, because Jiang... We're not actually killing Jiang with that swing, though, so maybe we'll reserve another attack for Jiang in the future. I'd rather just whittle away at their life here, I think. And we'll just play a Flux Channeler, which will mean that whenever we're casting these spells, Dovin is getting more counters, meaning that we can just keep using this ability. There's a chance even that the static ability here is actually doing some damage, making their spells more expensive. It's hard to be sure of that, but it's certainly possible. They could have a really nice 4-mana sorcery that they can't play. Opponent's thinking. Oh, that's quite a good card for them to have here. So that enters, creates a wolf. and then whenever a wolf enters, it can fight a creature. So yeah, that's very strong. So the wolf's going to fight there. I think we do want to at least tap that while we've still got this creature alive. So yeah, opponent could come back here. I may well have jinxed it, and if I did, then that is entirely on me. Right, so our opponent also gained 3 life there. We can play a Sorin and tick it up, which gives them more potential targets to attack, and it also means it won't actually benefit from this proliferate. Tamiyo's Epiphany, we could search for some answers. Yeah. We could actually use Sorin and get back the Lorien Enforcer, which I am actually quite fond of as a play here. Let's do that. These orders are all fine. And get another counter on Dovin. Sorin comes out, and we bring back our Lorien Enforcer and play a land. Dovin is going to activate on the 5/4 just to save as much damage as we can.
And you're, well, not.
Our blocks here aren't actually very good. We might just be losing our Planeswalkers next turn, in which case I quite like killing Zhang here. So we can go, everyone attack Zhang, and just stop this proliferate from getting out of hand. Okay, that wolf is going to block. I must confess I missed that. I did not notice that wolf was untapped, so that was very bad play. I need to get my head in it. We might actually be about to lose this game. So this is hubris, I guess. This is pure hubris. They're going to swing for, because they've got enough damage here to kill both of these Planeswalkers. But we do still have a card draw spell and some removal, so if we can deal with what they have, they're kind of stuck. So it's not the end of the world if both of our Planeswalkers go here. It's not great, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's also not the end of the world. Interesting, they're definitely thinking about this. This deck looks very different to the deck we were playing last game. I'm assuming they've been running this this card from the start. And likewise this one, so maybe they just had quite a weird draw against us last game. Both going at Sorin is interesting. Leaves Dovin free. I'm fine with that. Sorin, I think, did enough there. Did enough to justify the mana cost. Gained us a point of a life. And yeah, this is what I was worried about, is now Proliferate starts to get quite concerning. So I think the first thing we want to do is cast Tamiyo's Epiphany. We want to see what we can get here. Makes our owl bigger. And we get a good look. Right, what do we want here? I think we definitely want Kasmina. We don't want these lands. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We've played a land this turn, so we're only going to have mana up for Divine Arrow regardless. I don't particularly want No Escape here. I think it's a bit late for that, so just Kasmina and whatever else is on the top, please. A land. Alright, not what I wanted, but that's fine. We'll definitely keep using Dovin to take out their biggest threat. I wonder how many more wolves they've got. If they play many more wolves, we're in trouble. And we're not going to block with the Strix, so I think I'm just going to use it to kill Zhang before Zhang becomes too much of a problem. It's already become too much of a problem, but before it becomes any more of a problem. All damage will be dealt. Okay, this is interesting actually, because we can't use Gideon, Divine Arrow rather, on Evolution Sage. So yeah, that will save Zhang. It does mean they're out of cards. They are just top decking now. I feel like we have the tools to be fine here. We have everything we need to win this game. I just need to play it properly. So hopefully this isn't a land, because then we can kill this with Divine Arrow. Because if they don't play any other creatures before combat, oh, that's interesting. So Tear's Light Shield, presumably going to put a counter on the wolf. Yeah, there we go. We're definitely going to kill this when it attacks with Divine Arrow. I think that's Or the other option, actually, is we tap something. If we tap one of them, they attack with the other and kill Dovin anyway. So yeah, let's just let them attack. So this, to them, does give away that we've got something. And they are going to kill Dovin here. But we are also going to kill this friend of wolves. And the cool thing about Planeswalkers here is we've been attacked for a bunch. And life-wise, we're doing just fine. Right, so Kasmina... Do I want to use Kasmina before I play a land? I don't see why not. I'm not sure if this is just fancy play for no reason, but... whatever, I'll live with it. Kasmina comes down, we make a nice monk, and we've drawn another creature. Alright, cool, so that gives us something to do after we attack here, because we now have... oh, no, we now have the amount of mana we need. So I am going to just get in with the Strix. Again, quite a big fan of this bird. And now play another bird. And we keep tapping this. This will get swinging, but we can probably just block that with the monk. You know, losing this monk would not be the end of the world. Whereas this bird could actually be pretty handy. I definitely want to keep Kasmina alive, if I can. So they're presumably... are they just going for a big swing on Kasmina here? Potentially. Let's tap down this, just to limit the amount of damage they can do. So that's interesting. They're both going at me. I'm not sure that's how I would do it, but yeah, I'll take that. They do need to get in for some damage on our life. I do understand that. This is really useful, actually. This can get us a chump blocker next turn, which is kind of what we want. I do want to use Kasmina, even though we might lose this card that I just said I liked. Yeah, because we can get rid of Dovin's Veto. It's unlikely that's going to be relevant. Right, so... I wish this had Vigilance. That'd be cool. In any case, we definitely want to get in with our flyers. And probably a monk as well. Yeah, that seems fine. So now, their 7/6 won't be an issue. We can just chump block it. In fact, we'll probably still tap the 7/6. Just make them attack with smaller creatures. Yes, this proliferating was quite a nice draw. It's interesting, their deck really does proliferate hard. So we'll tap that one down. And see where they're attacking, I think, before we figure out what we want to do here. They're both just attacking me again, this time for 11. So we can either chump block here or we can save this. I think I can take 11. Pretty soon I'm going to have to start blocking, but we can take this damage here. Because pretty soon we'll be able to line up something really good with this. So this turn we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. So let's... next turn we've got it, but I don't think this turn. I don't think we have it this turn. So we just need to really hope they just keep attacking like that, because now we can just get him for some more damage. Is it worth attacking with both monks? No, because we do. I think we want the monks to chump block. So we'll get hit them for 3 down to 9. Next turn we've got 1, 2, 3. Let's say 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we just do it like that. We've still got blockers. We've still got ways to stop them from attacking, and we've got the mana to tap something. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's try and get as much damage in this turn as we can, hopefully without dying. And end the turn there. So if they proliferate too much here, we're in a bit of trouble. If they can basically make this an 8/8, then that's a problem. Otherwise, well, actually no, we might just be chump blocking with these two. So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the crackback. I think it depends what they attack with, really. Yeah, I think I just want the blockers here. I wonder what card they've drawn here. Got to worry about stuff like Giant Growth. We don't want to, for example, not block this and then get hit with a Giant Growth. Although, actually, at the moment, if they've got Giant Growth, they've won. Because we double block, and then they play Giant Growth on this and win. That, to me, says they don't have it. I mean, we have to block it. I think the way that we want to do that is... we just want to block it with the 3/3. Yeah. Leave this guy alive since they're not going for lethal here. And that means this turn we can make another 1/1 at the end of turn, which will be a 2/2 in our turn. And what we can also do is tap down this creature. Tap down this creature rather, because that's a token. Oh, interesting. Wondrous Strike is probably the win. We just exile this and swing in for a lot. Let's see what happens when we cast this. Right, and we definitely want to put counters on both of them. And they're saying good game. Let's just... yeah, I think we have to do that. And good game. I don't like to say good game until I know I've won. That was scary. I thought I was going to lose to that that 4-card hand there after talking nothing but smack about it. So I'm glad that went the way it went. Let's just move straight on to the next match. This deck's... I think this deck's certainly not perfect. There's cards that don't seem to really fit that well. But there are some cool synergies going on. And one thing we do have going for us is that our cards are quite cheap. So we've not really had too many mana problems. We'll definitely play first if given the choice. And this is not a good hand. We'll try and get some lands. These are some lands, and we've got a turn 2 Dreadhorde Invasion, so I think we want to keep this just to play this if nothing else. Kasmina can stay on top. That's a good deal. So we'll go turn 1 Dreadhorde Invasion. Turn 2 Dreadhorde Invasion, rather. We're not that good. Let's just ship it on back. I'm going to say hello as well. I like my last opponent's style. Grim Initiate is not a huge issue. Dreadhorde Invasion comes down here. Our opponent right now probably thinking we're playing some kind of blue-black Amass deck rather than this blue-white Flyers nonsense that we've got going on. Swinging for 1, that's fine. And now we've got a zombie of our own, and we can continue to apply pressure. Yep, the zombie can't attack, that's interesting and true. Grim Initiate not looking particularly good here, and if they've got a combat trick they want to use to kill a War Screecher at this stage, I think that's fine. But this really is going to grow quickly. I can already see the power of this card. Because right now it's such a non-issue, but in a few turns it's going to be my best creature. Like, it's already nearly my best creature. Right. Contentious Plan's quite sick here, but I think we'll just get a Kasmina out. Start looting. Start improving the quality of our hand and filling out the board. Interesting. I don't think I want to discard the land. How good is Contentious Plan here? Relatively, but Ashiok Skulk is probably better, so I'll just get rid of that. And we'll keep up with the attacks. Our opponent presumably playing some kind of spells deck, or maybe there's a... Red has Amass cards, doesn't it? Yeah, so it could be a red-blue Amass deck of some kind. Or just good red rares or good blue rares and then some other cards. You can never tell with draft, really. And so far we've only seen the one card, I think. They haven't played anything else. So, who knows at this stage, really? Who really knows? Yeah, Thunder Drake's annoying. But our zombies can still attack into it. It's not the end of the world. And we'll just keep pumping that army up. Right, so let's use Kasmina before we do anything else. I just want to see what we draw into. Teo's Light Shield. Teo's Light Shield could put a counter on this, on our War Screecher, which means that any proliferate effects are going to help it compete with this Thunder Drake. Let's just discard an island for now, and I think what we want to do is The other option is we put a counter on this zombie and just let it get through. Seems like a bit of a waste. I think putting a counter on War Screech is probably better. But let's attack with the zombie. See what our opponent does here. They just take it, and we'll play an Ashiok Skulker in that case. So once this zombie gets to 6 power, if it gets there, it will have lifelink when it attacks. So we can recuperate some of this lost life if we need to. We've got a fair few ways to gain life in this deck, actually, just incidentally, so I'm not that worried yet about our life total, but... Okay, that's interesting. So Nahiri's going to kill our zombie here.
Oppose me and be reduced to rubble.
He's going to have to deal 3 damage to it. Yeah, so that's down, but we'll get another one. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Now, next turn, if we draw a land, we can actually activate this and just start swinging for quite a lot with just these 3 creatures. That's probably what we're going to do if we can get a land. If at all possible, that's what I'd like to do. We didn't draw a land, but we did draw a Divine Arrow, so that is something. This turn, realistically, we've only got 1 white source, actually, so I think... Let's see what happens if we attack first. So we will definitely send this in. Killing Nahiri here, how doable is that? If we can make Nahiri useless if we attack Nahiri with everyone, and Nahiri is... I don't really want Nahiri to kill 2 of my creatures, so I think doing that's probably fine. Especially since we've got a Divine Arrow if they block with the Thunder Drake, which I hope they do. I really do hope they go for a block here, and they have done. So Nahiri's still going to either die or be made pretty much worthless by this attack. Okay, so we'll kill Thunder Drake while we have a chance. Hate that card. Get rid of it. Get it gone. And Nahiri's gone. Now, our opponent does have 4 cards in hand, so they could have some pretty powerful 5 and 6 mana cost cards that they're waiting to cast. For example, this. For example, a super powerful Mythic Rare, which we've just drawn the means to tap, which is nice. But still, gross. This is so hard to deal with. Right. This turn, I think we definitely want to play the Lorien Enforcer, so what I am going to do is activate Ashiok Skulker so that we can go in for 4, like so. It's not really much point attacking with these, so we'll just get what damage in we can and play a Lorien Enforcer. And this will deal quite nicely with the boar. If we just, like for like, every turn just tap the boar, they'll get 1 swing in with it here, which is problematic. Depends what creature they've got in their hand. Alright, our opponent's filling out the board quite nicely here. We definitely want to bring in some counter spells. We can bring in our second copy of that 3 mana counter spell here. Let's see what they're playing with the boar. Eternal Skylord, interesting. Now we have the means to kill that now, right? Yeah, and I think I'm going to, because I don't particularly want them to have this again. So we'll just block like that, take 6. Fair's fair. Do they have a follow-up? I wonder if they thought Skylord had flying. It's possible. Right. Now we are getting worryingly low on life here. But we are also not in the worst spot in the world. So we can play Teo's Light Shield again, looking quite bad here. Whereas with Dovin, we can shut down... We're shutting down the boar anyway, so we can shut down the damage of this token here with Dovin. And just...
I'm well equipped to deal with nuisances like you.
I think we could still here attack with the Ashiok Skulker, because I don't mind trading for 2 of their creatures. And I think the zombies can probably go in as well. And the monk. Yeah, why not? There's no need to slow down here, I think. We definitely want to keep applying pressure. Because we need to close this out quickly, essentially. We don't have much time. Opponent's thinking about something. I'm fine with that trade. Yep, that's totally fine. And we pass it back. So we've got to remember to tap this boar, otherwise everything falls apart. Okay, that is a nuisance, but it's something we'll have to deal with. Don't have much choice, so we'll tap the boar down. Now this War Screecher again is giving us some nice stuff to do. Flux Channeler, huh? Doesn't do too much. Can we target... Right, we can't target our own Dreadhorde Invasion. That'd be quite cool if we could. So here we can pull the same trick again, make their zombies useless, and tap down their boar.
When pursuing creativity, defy convention.
And at this point, no, that would be a terrible... What we don't want is for this to die before damage happens there. So if we do that... Oh wait, no, is that right? We would have to have first strike to kill this and then amass onto that, so that's okay. That's not a problem. So we kill that. Oh, I've completely forgot how first strike works. That's really embarrassing. We'll play a Flux Channeler and pass the turn. So we're 2 turns off. If we can retain our life here, 2 turns off being able to gain some back with this, which I think would be pretty great here. If they kill this, we're in a lot of trouble. If they don't, we can hold off for a little while. Dreadhorde Invasion's done a lot of work for 2 mana. It's also done most of our opponent's work, but I think that's just part and parcel of running a card like this. Ooh, what does Ral do? How do I... We're not countering either of them. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it does 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Okay, yeah, so this could be a real problem. This looks great with blue-red.
All tingly. Or it might just be static.
This could be a lot of trouble for us.
Ride the
We
light.
don't really have time to focus on Ral, so hopefully we can just close this game out before that becomes a problem. Now what we can do here is put a counter on this to start gaining some life. Annoyingly, we've only got 1 white source again, but I think we definitely want to attack with this with a counter on it to gain some life. The question is which way we want to do that. I think, does it only gain it when it attacks? Yes, so we have to, I think, go for the light shield route. Put a counter on there. Dovin can do the usual, just dealing with that.
We're studying contrasts.
And we'll...
I'm excellent, and you're, well, not.
Swing in with this at them. This can also attack them. And the bird can also attack them. Just keep applying as much pressure as possible. Get our life. This life should get us out of this. If we actually manage to gain this life. Which it looks like we will. Oh, hang on, no, that... I am misplaying like mad here. Dovin also prevents damage that will be dealt by this permanent. So we wanted to actually do that after combat. Alright, we're learning a lot today. We are learning a lot. Creatures having menace is fine. What's not fine is this getting an attack in, so we'll definitely remember to tap that down. So, presumably they're going to amass here. I mean, they will. It doesn't matter pre-combat, really, because this attacking with this doesn't do anything. They can still activate Ral this turn. I think we definitely want another sort of creature protection spell here. They're playing a lot of very weird cards that interact with creatures in weird ways, so something else that can deal with that would be nice. And we'll tap down their boar. I really was hoping to not have to play against a card like this at any of these games, but you can't always get what you want. Right, so this time we're not going to activate Dovin until after combat. Now, the issue with doing it that way, so realistically, if we swing with everyone, they block there and they block there, which leaves us with 1, 2, 3 power. So yeah, there's no point activating the bird this turn. I think what we actually want to do is just see if we can get away with a combat trick or something. If we go there, if we go there, and this is actually, this could grow quite a bit, but we'll leave it back for now and just swing in with these attackers. Gain the life link. We've learnt our lesson, and we can use this to better effect either during their turn or next turn. Right, and gain our life. That resolves, and Dovin can just shut that down,
When pursuing
and we end the turn.
Defy convention.
So, assuming we use this turn, which we might not, but if we do, it will proliferate onto these planeswalkers, allowing us to make another monk next turn. I think we might just get this one by attrition, depending on what kind of nonsense they can pull off with Ral. But we don't really have the luxury to focus on Ral. Right, that is worrying. Let's see what they're casting.
There's a storm coming your way.
Hopefully nothing too bad. But if they have a good removal spell here, that's a problem. Yeah, so something like that's quite good. Okay, Ral's targeting our planeswalkers. So, I'm not actually too familiar with how this works. So, alright, these are just triggers off of Ral, right? They haven't targeted yet. Oh wait, are they applying damage right now? Yeah, we're waiting for our opponent to say where this damage is going. Yeah, so resolve.
This is a rare
Even
occasion.
I make
Are
errors.
not
And-
often wrong.
Resolve. We'll just allow it to kill our planeswalkers here. Yeah, this is a very big swing. Now our opponent needs to pick what they're targeting with this. I've not really had any sort of advanced stack plays yet on Magic Arena. So they're targeting our zombie token because that makes sense. Does our opponent know they need to target someone here? Not entirely sure that they do. Okay, no, they do know where that's going. Ral's going to deal some damage, which will allow to happen. That's fine. And that's fine. We need to make sure pre-combat that we tap down this boar. Like so. Next turn we can still tap down their stuff, so we could still have it here. Because we can tap, we can't tap their token down. So War Screech is actually our main way to get damage in. And they'll just keep making that zombie army bigger. Right, without Dovin, we do need to start chumping that, but we do have the perfect chump block creator in Dreadhorde Invasion, so that's good. We definitely want to play War Screecher. Now, the question here is, do we want to just put a counter on this, get in for 2, gain 2 life, and proliferate onto it? I think we do want to do that, because then next turn it'll be 3 that it can attack for, so let's do that. Oh wait, no, so it'll be next turn that we can attack with it. So do we want to make any other attacks? I don't think so. think we just pass here. And hope they don't draw anything too nuts for Ral to copy. Because that was quite a nice spell to copy. Scry 1's fine. Scry 1 is absolutely fine. You can do that all day.
It makes field research more interesting.
This is so close. This has been a tough game. Don't particularly want to get attacked by that boar, so we'll tap it down. I'll probably chump with Terra's Light Shield here, if they attack with the zombie army. Just for the extra defense. I do want to cast this turn. I think regardless, we cast this turn so that we proliferate, we get another activation here, we put another counter on these zombies, and we make the bird bigger. Oh, okay. We didn't get the opportunity. I forgot to put a stop in their end step. Again, just getting familiar with Magic Arena here. So here we can tap that down. They've got one spell in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's probably worth going for. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. We can't tap that down. Never mind. So the bird, we can make this bird a 3/3. And then if we attack with both of these, they can only block one of them. I think that's probably worth trying. Let's give it a go. So we go... attack them, attack them, attack them. And now they'll presumably block here. And we hopefully stack our triggers correctly. I really hope I know how to do this properly. So we cast this on there. Oh, right, okay, so it doesn't quite work how I want it to. But we still get the damage in. It's still lethal. Because that is the 3. Oof, that game was tough. Partly because I'm not so used to playing with Arena, I think. Do we see any targets for top of the statue? I don't remember seeing anything like that. No escape I definitely want if they've got another one of those gods. Teferi's Time Twist might be quite useful here. What's not so good against them? I don't think Terra's Light Shield impressed me very much. It just doesn't do enough. I think we want to make sure that we're being a bit proactive in this matchup, because the longer this game goes, the more likely they are to get that god out, and then we can be in a lot of trouble. Crush Descent doesn't even permanently deal with a... Oh, it does counter them. I don't think we need that many counter spells, though. I think that's probably a bit overzealous. I think that's probably enough. Let's just ship it back. And we're here for game 2 against this opponent. It was a tough game 1. Hopefully they don't draw their god this turn. Hopefully that just doesn't happen. And then we should be okay. Otherwise we're probably doomed. This hand is definitely a keep. We've got 2 early creatures. Teferi's Time Twist is quite weird, but and also a Wanderer's Strike, which doesn't even deal with that boar god because that's how insane it is. That's a brilliant draw though. So you can just get our trump card out. They might burn it. If I were them, if I had any ways to kill this, I would kill it, considering how good it was last game. And we just want to continue here to build our board. So we'll go for an attack. I don't know of many flash creatures in this format that I need to worry about. I want more damage at this stage. Pouncing Lynx I think is better than War Screecher right now, because if we can just get some more damage in early, it will help us out a fair bit. Because this deck seems to start strong and then have to really crawl to get the rest of it going on. So this turn, we can still attack with both, and I think it's probably worth doing, and then just plonking down this War Screecher. Would like to draw a land at some point, but you can't always get what you want. Yeah, we'll just play a War Screecher. See what they're up to. So we're potentially 1 turn away from this ridiculous god card coming down. War Screecher's actually quite a nice blocker at the moment. So here we want to attack with Pouncing Lynx, I think, because what we can actually do is deal our first strike damage and then Teferi's Time Twist it if they decide to double block, which I doubt they will, but let's see if they do. Just keep getting him some damage here. Alright, they're not doing anything like that. We could still Teferi's Time Twist, and I think we probably will this coming turn, depending on how they attack. Just to put a counter on War Screecher, so that any proliferate spells will make it bigger. The other option is we put it on Pouncing Lynx, and because this does get better with more counters on it. Their creatures having Menace is fine. It's not the end of the world at all. Amass 2 is a bit of a pain, but if they amass 2 and then attack, we've got the perfect answer. So let's see what they do. They opt to not attack at all. So in that case, I am going to Teferi's Time Twist here on, I think, the War Screecher. I think it's going to be more useful to have a 2-power flyer, which, granted, I did that timing completely wrong. Again, learning as we go here, but it will come back at the end of this turn at least. Okay, I think we want to set up, we want to see if we can kill something off here with the Pouncing Lynx, because we've got this Divine Arrow to back it up. So let's just get in here and try and limit their board state, or just deal some damage. See, here we go. Here we can just Divine Arrow, which isn't that efficient, but, you know, it's better than nothing. And we've got mana up to stop their bird from attacking, and our bird's going to come back. So for this to work properly, you need to cast it in the second main phase with Teferi's Time Twist. That was the mistake I made there. If anyone's not sure what happened, I think I might be the only person in the world who missed that, but, you know, can't always be perfect, can't always play good, can only ever try your best. This is interesting. I wonder how many creatures they're going to sacrifice here. Presumably this Amass token is going to go to make this a 4/4. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, no, getting rid of Angrath makes sense as well. We'll probably just Wanderer's Strike that, because that's a bit problematic. Okay, that's a good play. Can't argue with that. So we'll definitely tap down this bird. And here we go. So we've just drawn a Callous Dismissal of our own here, which, casting that on this is actually quite nice. Yeah, I like that, because we can replay our War Screecher and then get rid of that, thus negating all of that value they gained. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And just Callous Dismissal on that. Because we can both bounce things back to hand, you know? That's not a thing only they're allowed to do. We'll get in here like so. Actually, we can't tap this turn, so let's get that in as well. Just get that extra point in, rather than waste it by hanging back with a creature that we can't use. So the dream here is they replay this Hellion, sacrifice more stuff, and then we just Wanderer's Strike it. That would be really great. Wanderer's Strike does at least get rid of that Bull God for a few turns if we need it to. They are doing it again. I'm assuming they're just going to sack this. Yeah, that's fair. But now it can die to Divine Arrow, so we're still good. We can still tap it with Lorien Enforcer. We've drawn another land, which is nice. Right, so this turn, I think again we're going to go in with Pouncing Lynx, just because the opportunity to Divine Arrow that is just quite sweet to me. And that still leaves us with mana to tap down whatever's left, so let's also get in with this bird. They might not block it, you never know. Just want to keep the pressure on. I want to be the person who's attacking here, and that did work. That's fine. So rather than play Divine Arrow, what I want to do here is play a Relentless Advance, just to make this bigger. And now we've got mana to tap down their Hellion. Yeah, I'm very conscious that our opponent hasn't actually used that many spells this game. Like, it's a lot of their removal has just been making creatures for them. We'll definitely tap down the... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we will still tap down the Hellion. If they attack with the flyer, that's fine. So now they've only got a 2/2, so we've actually just got some nice clean attacks here. They've got a bunch of mana. I've got stuff to respond with. I think we just go for it here, and if they've got something tricky, we just deal with it as best we can. Leaving this back this time, because we might need it if they flash in something stupid this turn. Don't seem to be. yeah, we're just getting in for damage there. That went well. Can't argue with that. And we've got plenty of tools to finish this out as long as they don't play something that generates a lot of bodies. If they play something that makes a lot of tokens, they could still be in this. Or one of the many board wipes that are in this set. Or something stupid like a Planeswalker that does a lot of damage. There's things they could have here, but I think we're in a pretty nice spot to just close this one out. But with blue-red, you never really know. You never really know what they could play. You never really know what they have. That's not true at all. That's just that sentence didn't mean much. It's true of any Magic deck. But yeah, I don't know this set well enough to know what tricks they might have up their sleeve. So we'll definitely tap down their Hellion here, and they pass it back. I think to play it on the safe side, I am going to not. If they block there, so let's say we swing with these three and they block here, we deal that much damage and we've got a battlefield promotion. So yeah, I think actually what we do is we just attack with everyone. We've got enough tricks here that really we just want to make sure we've got the kill if they do have something sneaky going on here. So we've currently got 4 damage and they'll just concede. Alright, that was quite a tricky game. We did get there in the end. We've not yet lost a game with this deck, so that's good, despite, you know, kind of deserving to. I haven't been playing particularly well in this part of the draft, but hopefully for the next episode I'll be able to change that. Thanks again for joining us. There'll be another episode of this coming up at some point over the next few days as we continue this draft and see if we can take this deck all the way. Good luck, have fun wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye.